Um, well, while it's doing its thing, it's trying. Oh boy, it's trying. I've never had it try this hard before. That's kind of a little weird. I blame Dawn.
What did I do?
You know what you did. Do you deny it, sir?
What? Are you
What?
talking to me?
No, what Dawn did.
I
Oh.
don't know what I did. So I do deny it.
I don't know, man. Contact your lawyer.
Okay. Well, I'll get in touch.
Anyhow, so quick recap. Just I say, contact your lawyer, not die.
I'm. I've taken 2 COVID tests, and I'm still good. I think it's just Gen Con pox. That is.
Yeah, con plague. That's a thing.
Yeah. So Jared gave it to me.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine.
Then yeah, you probably gave it to him because at some point you probably
Yeah.
felt like a little
You've
off in the stomach.
You've built up some natural resilience.
Oh no,
He's just the carrier.
there is no resistance to con plague. That's not a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so but yeah, I can't even upload music, so I have a feeling whatever they did with the PDF upload has just fucked a whole bunch of stuff up. So if you want to hear it, you'll have to load the stream. I'll
I'm
have
good.
it playing.
Load up what?
The stream.
Why?
I'm playing some music, some like
Okay.
thematic music. That I can't upload for some reason. Don't know why. That's
Plus,
right.
you could talk and then hear yourself in the stream. It'd be
Right?
great.
It would great. Totally not throw you off. But anyhow, where we last left off, the party pushing further north into the northern land and on the verge of hitting Grajord, stopped at the river's crossing. On the north side of the riverbank, you explored and found what looked to be some oddly placed stones, placed there with a degree of intent that separated them from the otherwise natural terrain. Interacting with this, I believe it was Alderic's first, you were drawn into another realm, a personal demi-plane, as best you can tell. Albert soon followed, then the whole party at large, leaving Lilith, Sara, the newly acquired cow, and the horse and the cart back from whence you came. Here, a brief discussion took place with this giantess woman, this grandmotherly figure hunched over the lot of you upon her large stool, offering bowls of what some kind of clear soup. Began to enlighten or confuse or confound you depending on how well you took to the information, gesturing to Adaman specifically, and more talking through, apparently targeting not yourself, Mr. Adaman, but the traveler within, claiming that this one is mine in this race, without at any point wanting to explain the rules or the meaning behind calling it a race, merely saying that whatever information she gives to you, she has to give to everyone, because she can't be seen to play favorites. That's kind of where we left off.
So there was something she was going to say specifically to Scorgan's friend, I believe. That's where we were waiting at the end.
Oh.
Yeah, you kind of dozed off. Just a little.
I remember that part. The dozing off and waking up.
Yes. So, first and foremost, does anyone partake of the fine soup that she has provided you?
Seems like a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do, or yeah, it seems like a bad idea.
That sounds like a bad Just clear soup.
We don't want to offend her by not.
Again, she has said the premise, the following premise. She's made a point that she must show you hospitality because you are in her abode, right? And that she can't do anything outright and overt to hinder whatever situation's going on.
And poisoning's pretty overt.
Well, yeah, no, but what she actually said was that she can't play favorites. So she can't poison one of us, but she can poison all of us.
That's true.
Yep.
So I take it's a no on the soup.
I'm not drinking whatever the clear liquid is.
The only one I trust to drink the soup is Adam. So if he's not, Avrash won't.
Okay. So Adamon
Yes.
slash writer. I can only tell you and hope that you will glean as much information and more information than your booned companions may. 'Tis not the dancing woman that you seek. But that which she dances for.
Okay.
If I were to say any more, it would be pressing the matter, and I can already hear them, and she seems to look off in the distance beyond the walls of this demi-plane hut and within which you reside at the moment, them screaming at me for giving you this much.
Can you at least give me this information? How many racers are there? Just the ones here?
Here and here alone. Now and then, another may come and another may go, as humors us, my
Mhm.
sisters three.
So there's 3 sisters, and there's 5 of us.
There's 4 of you.
The
Are there
egg
2
sister-
other, we'll say hosts? Not host, that's not the right word.
Sponsors. No.
No. So some of the sisters are backing more than one?
No.
We were told there was one of us without. Poor Abrash.
I can only
One of
promise
us
that
without.
I have been absolutely truthful in all that I have said, and that indeed not all here are backed in favor of we the Sisters Three. Something or someone has meddled in our little game. Now, if you will not partake of my hospitality, she stands looming 9 feet over the lot of you. And with a hand, the bowls rot away. This liquid spilling hot, still boiling, fresh from the pot over the hands in which that holds. And for those who have set it down, it spills across your feet. Then I insist you leave.
Oh, rip.
We lost Spaz.
I guess Spaz took the message. away
Wow.
from the literal.
Spaz like, alright, I ain't fucking with this. I'm out of here.
Too scary, too scary. Bad juju, bad juju.
Well, we might as well leave then.
Yes. What's it? Go.
And, oh, poor trapped one. I do expect more humor from you. Maybe
Who's that?
you'll find it.
Who's that directed at? Or is that Skorg?
Presumably.
Oh, we literally lost him out of game.
Yeah, I would
too.
say so. Either his full net went down, power went out, something. It's the
Something.
kids. The kids got
The
him.
kid got it.
Yep.
Operation Gank Dad has succeeded.
Right. Full disconnect. Well, maybe it's short term though.
Hopefully. Making your way back the way from which you came.
Walking fast.
Blink, blink. Yes. I presume walking with a degree of haste. Yes.
Yes.
You find yourselves once again in heavy downpour. No sign of the siblings nor the cart.
Told you we couldn't trust them. First chance they get, they steal our ride.
Good damn
Per-
kids.
Perception check to see like if survival, I guess, if there's any tracks or anything.
That would be the appropriate check, yes.
I will cast guidance on myself because yes.
So everything's gone. The girls, the cart, the
The girls, the cart, the cow, the horse, and the stones.
And the kitchen sink too.
Oddly enough, the kitchen sink's still there, but the plumbing's
Ah,
gone.
shit.
of
How
course.
did they manage this?
Aldrich,
Big 11.
Aldrich, my dude.
Yeah. This isn't the right spot, is it?
It is well into the middle of the night before you finally find the camp. Roughly where Artie had sort of gestured for them to go. But with you leading the way, things got a little spun about.
Good to see my complex still nice and solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get to the camp.
Yes.
So we're back out to the real
Yeah.
world now? Okay.
Yeah, she made us leave.
What did you do?
Not eat the soup.
Oh, okay. That wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they didn't quote did not partake of her hospitality.
Yeah, I try to make good time if like we're other ways off from the camp, just to make sure the girls are still there. Be nice to the wagon.
It took as Aldrich ended up leading the way as you were a little shunted for a moment. It took better into the better part of the evening before you managed to find where the girls made camp. The whole time, Ari yelling at Aldrich, like, "No, I'm pretty sure I told him to go this way and set up over here." Like, no, you said go this way. They've only set up the 2 tents. They were in the midst of trying to set up the third, and it looks like one of the bracing poles snapped. They don't have mending, so, is what it is.
Yeah, it's fixable.
And they're not being eaten by a giant chimera, so, they got that going for them.
Yeah.
But
Downside to everything.
yeah, downside to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Really,
What?
really adamant.
I didn't mean that. Just
You
know,
meant the
there's-
pole, right?
They broke a pole.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. They're in the midst of trying to get a fire started. Unfortunately, all the kindling they were able to find was wet, so it's not going great. But you have returned to camp. Feel free to discuss what the giantess haggish creature discussed with you, or otherwise ignore it. I will note that the pool once again drags you northward.
Well, that was an experience.
Yes.
How much do we trust what we've been told?
I trust her. I trust what we were told. Not enough to eat her food, though.
It's not really given reason to trust as he tries to help the girls set up rest camp, make sure they're not overburdened. But they've got their stuff. That's enough.
I will be helping as we talk.
What are you going to say?
And really, we really shouldn't put much stock in what she said. We know that she's one of the 3.
Yes.
And they like to deceive people, so.
And we know one of us apparently does not have a sponsor.
If you believe that.
Yes.
Does anyone know of a dancing girl?
Is there anything I could roll to see, like, if something clicks in the brain, or
if there's like a piece
something
of
we've
You vaguely remember Sara mentioning a woman dancing in visions, as well as brief, choppy visions of your own in your tormented dreams.
Right.
Remember, she's very pretty. Are we going to go
Yes.
visit with her?
Maybe we are. I don't know. There's probably not much for us to mull over right now.
Yeah.
We should probably get another rest and
Get rest and get back on the road.
yes, we're starting to get to the cold area.
Yes.
How cold?
Oh,
considerably.
I mean, question. Figure the map is white for a reason.
Yes, indeed.
Cold enough to bundle up.
Yes.
But the pull that we feel is more like in our gut, you said, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's not as strong as it initially was, either because of distance. It's hard to say, but you do recall back in Unterland, nearer to that village, it was very defined. You knew where it was bringing you. Here, it's like north-ish.
Okay. Just making sure it wasn't in the hand where the marks was. It's not like all located one part of the body that I could just, be done with these fates and get rid of it.
I mean, you can get rid of your god.
That tends to not work too well, though.
That's for greater restoration. No, is it?
I don't have that one yet.
Yeah, that's a little outside our power level.
Is it? I mean,
Yeah.
kill enough
right,
commoners.
We're on a milestone system.
Kill enough commoners.
There's a town to the north. It's where it's pulling
I'll
us.
say there's a town to the south. So I just opened up my laptop. For the record, I want to point out, we just said cold, right? Open up my laptop, and yeah, Windows has like that auto-generated background for like the login screen. It's just it's a snowy mountain. It was a nice, bright, beachy, sunny when I closed it. It's listening.
Oh, of course.
Headed to rest. Okay.
Yes, if you're attempting to take a long rest, i.e., camp out for the night, I do need that there 1D100. And let me know if anyone rolls within the magic 10.
At least I'm assuming we're sleeping since it's been a day. We've been traveling.
Yeah.
We have reason to push. We're making camp. Well, I guess they were making camp because we were leaving.
Yeah.
They were making camp because you told them to, and then you were gone for half a day. So I guess we really will do what they said.
Come on, Mr. Albrush. Unless you did it to GM.
He didn't.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know if it. Everyone.
Yep, everybody.
For the record, Ari, you'll be so proud. She rolled a 19 on her survival to set up the camp.
Nice.
So, not that bad.
It's better than me most of the time.
Okay, no one rolled the magic number, so you guys sleep soundly-ish during your various shifts. Otherwise are unmolested by the local wildlife and hostilities. When you awake, you are greeted with, as far north as you already are, a heavy glisten of frozen over humidity hanging onto your tents, your equipment, the cow, the horse, both of which none too pleased with the terrain you're going into. Lilith is in fact already up trying to tend to the animals, seeming very quickly to take more attention, more presence among them than dealing with you grown-ups. And Sarah is in the midst of numbing on whatever piece of bread her sister has warmed up for her. As Abarish comes peeling out, feeling severely ill.
It is all the sleeping outdoors.
Does wonders for the living.
I don't think it does.
I feel great.
For now. That's what you all say. Oh, I feel great, and then the next day you die of dysentery or something.
I can heal that.
And that's because you got a good rest outdoors.
Yep.
Okay, let's pack it up. Better get a move on. Moving will keep you warm.
Okay. On the road you go again. I will note, if you tend to follow the road, it does pull you away from where the sort of the gut check, I guess the best way we'll describe it, tends to want to pull you.
I guess I'd be curious what the terrain is like, because it's pretty flat and solid, and there's not a lot of brush. And in theory, there's not too much difference. If we could make really good time on the road, it's worthwhile.
If not for the cart, it would be fine. Like, the horse would travel it just fine. The cow would be okay. But the cart itself, having already been mended and repaired multiple times, isn't doing too well in the icy, rocky terrain. But to my knowledge, you don't have so much equipment that you can't just strap that stuff to your back or to the horse itself.
That might not be a bad idea.
Talking with the girls, are they up for trekking? Because for the most part, they've ridden in the wagon. That would mean they would be stuck on foot or trying to ride on the horse and cow without normal saddles.
Going to ride on my cow?
Sarah, being like the little trooper that she is she is so down. Like, yeah, I can do it. And you look off of one of the distant snow, like the snow banks up ahead, that is bigger than she is.
All right, up on the cow, little one.
But she is so for it. Like, she is ready. She's like, just give me a little, like, one of the little walking sticks. I got this.
I mean, I can carry my gear.
Yeah, carry my gear.
Yep.
Adaman.
I mean, I pretty much carry all my stuff anyway.
I was waiting for her to say, well, I'll just carry the party. Alright. So, is there anything you want to specifically do with the cart as you unhitch it and what have you? It's good wood. Well, it's okay wood.
It's wood.
I don't think any.
I mean, if there's not any trees forward on our path, then it could be worthwhile to have it in terms of burning it, but that would be the only thing. If there's shrubs and stuff like that, we might be able to gather enough anyways.
Yeah, what you're looking at is sort of frigid scrubland. So that there are the stubborn bushes and what have you that cling here in the border before true cold takes hold. So there is wood, because I believe you're the outlander, what have you. Oh,
yeah.
Scoring your whispers never cease to amuse me.
Right.
Oh. As you guys walk away, you hear like a meep meep from the cart. As Adam pockets this strange device. And doubly noted, Ari. So, packing your goods, getting yourselves as sort of weight balanced as possible. Lilith more than happy to try and carry her own weight when asked by anyone that's not Avaresh. It is more likely easier to have the cow carry the majority of the excess weight, as the horse, it's good at pulling, but you don't have the right like saddlebags and things of that nature. So what makeshift thing you're able to do works better with the broad back of the cow, and as a result, Sarah hops up on the horse, kind of giving it the little hug. But she's been very kind to this horse that's otherwise been traumatized by this party.
I'm honestly surprised Alvarush hasn't tried drinking from the horse.
Don't give him
We
ideas.
need the horse. We do not need homeless people in random villages.
Spoken like a true politician. But you begin your trek northward. The light rain and drizzle eventually fades to flurries.
I didn't quite post right, but there it is.
Oh yes, you copy pasted.
It happens.
Yeah, there's a line break.
Okay. That may be of important. We're not going to have you roll the. I do need 2 sets of D100s for the 2 rests before you hit the next story point. And Ari, if you would like to utilize your feature, go ahead and do that twice. Because it's 50-50, you just either odds, evens, whatever die type. Odds will be a fail, evens will be pass. So flip that there coin. Ooh, oh no. I saw that the one like that. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the first night, you managed to avoid having to really stress for getting material. But as you get closer and closer, and the feeling in your gut begins to pick up in intensity, nothing seems to come out and reach out to aid you. You're still able to find some things, but otherwise have to go into your provisions, your rations for food. Because you guys are tracking your rations, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
You eat blood.
I will note,
You said
the cow is not producing as much here in the cold.
As much blood or as much milk?
Yes.
Milk.
Yes.
I mean, are you drinking from the cow every day?
No. Well, just a little nip. Just a little nip.
A little nip of the cowish?
Just like that. No. Avrash would only consume cow when he feels hungry. Feels the call.
All right. Approaching at this point, 2 days through the hard packed snow and drifts. Every now and then, even Sarah it feels a little more comfortable walking, mainly thanks to the warm weather clothing for the most part. You are then greeted with the sound, roughly noon on the 3rd day, with cracking, shifting, moving ice. Fortunately, with the outrider and the aware individual that Ari is, you were able to stop yourselves before you realized that you would have been walking on a mostly frozen over river. here becomes your obstacle. How would you like to try and cross? At a glance, it is 40 feet across. You're unsure of its depth. The ice itself, though, only looks to be maybe anywhere between 1.5 to 3 inches thick. So easily cracked. And underneath, you are aware that the river is flowing.
Well, any ideas?
We cross.
Yeah, the problem is going to be the cow, probably.
The horse looks at
Stripping your
you.
weight is good for not breaking through. You can drag your pack behind you with a bit of rope, but there's not too much you can do with a cow unless you like lay it down and slide it.
Don't know how we're going to explain to the cow it needs to lie down so we can slide.
Do we, like, looking side to side, trying to see like the edge of the river, does it seem like it's more narrower if we head either side? Are there any structures or trees that we could potentially bring down to lay across?
Would you like to roll a survival check as your interaction with this obstacle?
I will assist Ari.
Okay, so that is Ari and Aldrich survivaling to try and get a tree fit to cross the river with.
I was going to do guidance as well. Assistance gives advantage, is that correct?
Advantage, you can guidance this.
Okay. 21.
21. And that's with the D4?
Should have been.
Yeah.
Yes.
Looks like it.
Looks like
Alright. Okay. So, there are a handful of trees with some effort, and assuming you have the tools at hand to secure them together, be it a significant amount of rope, which you should have, hammers, pythons, and the like, anything to strengthen their connection, you would have enough if you can uproot them or chop them down. As Lilith sits there sharpening her axe.
I was gonna say, I know where we could get an axe.
Yep. I do have carpenter's tools as well.
Noted. So, who wants to ask Lilith for her new friend, the axe, or do you want her to try and do it?
I mean, somebody's going to have to. I'm looking through what I'm bringing along. I really have nothing that will assist with this.
Well, I do not think it should be me.
I would glance to Aldrich being much the smallest of the crew here. I mean, I can go ask her for it, but I'm not going to be much good with an axe.
Yeah, am I really the strongest person here with 10?
I mean, I think Albrecht has you beat, but
I tie.
Stronger than me.
I will be the one to use the axe.
I just want to point out that means you guys are as strong as a teenage girl. And like, I know I say that, but this is a teenage girl who hasn't like explicitly tried to be strong before I get like any flack from like girls can be strong. Like, no, this girl has literally been doing nothing but like kind of existing for the whole start of her life.
We are decidedly average.
We are dexterous.
But yeah, someone do you want to try and take the axe from her persuasively?
Yeah. Persuade her.
Because she's not going to hand over what has become basically her safety blanket.
Well, it's either that or a spiritual weapon and axe, and use that force damage to knock trees down.
I will allow it. It's entirely up to you, though.
I think you have the best, crap, I forgot the word. The best relationship with the girls.
Yes.
Oh man, you guys are afraid of a bunch of girls. Okay. I'll head on over.
Oh, Hamrush would just get hit with the axe if he asked.
Yeah, alright.
I mean, that's one way to get
I
it.
have good reason. She threatens me with X every other day.
Well, you wouldn't have it threatened if you didn't eat the halfling.
There was no halflings being eaten.
He definitely ate the halfling.
We're aware.
Yeah, I believe he was a gnome.
Lewis, can we borrow your axe for a little bit? We're going to try and take down that tree you spotted over there and see if we can use it to cross the river and get the animals across without going in the river.
I mean, you're gonna use it, right? Not and like she hard glares at us like, right?
I will not
Aldrich,
touch the X. I will stay far away from precious X.
For
Aldrich
now.
said he was gonna chop it down.
Mr. Aldrich?
Yeah,
No, okay.
pretty trustworthy. I trust him. I do trust him.
I wouldn't, but
I don't know if you're capable of trust, Aberish.
no one ever seems to take my thoughts into consideration when it comes to matters of trust.
Because we catch you lying every time you try to.
Incorrect.
So she does hand it to me?
Yes, making it clear that
Okay.
she does not want Aberish to have it.
Can do. I deliver said axe to Aldrich and head over to the tree. Help kind of guide, like, chop it here, try to fell it that way.
Yeah, taking what carpentry tools you have, you are able to prep the tree for chopping. Chopping. Give me that athletics there, Aldrich.
Guidance.
Pray that you chop correctly.
It?
I'm assuming you were giving him assistance with the guiding of chop here. So yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god. The one is not on the 20.
Uh-huh.
Not far off.
Jera.
It has literally... I have rolled so bad lately.
But Jera.
I know.
Why do you jinx?
But Jera.
I will hand the axe back and just summon a spiritual weapon to chop down these trees.
You know what? Lilith's gonna take a crack at it then.
Okay, I will give her guidance.
Point at the same spots that you missed.
Exactly.
Your guidance again is a 1.
Yeah.
But you get out axe chop. To be fair, she did grow up in like a logging community.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't practice a lot. She has been working with this axe for no particular reason, Aberish, to try and figure out how best to chop something in half. Particularly like something vaguely Aberish sized.
Bah.
But still, buddy.
I had 2 good rolls all weekend.
Okay, well the weekend's over. Start new.
I'm trying. The dice have refused to let me.
Have you pulled them aside, had a nice loving talk with them, shown them where the blowtorch was?
Yes.
Maybe that was a problem. You weren't supposed to use the blowtorch.
Like, at one point, I was like, fuck it, I'm pulling dice out from the bottom of the bag here.
They didn't want to roll well for you because you leave them at the bottom of the bag.
Just, it was awful. I 1v1 the goblin for like 3 rounds.
A goblin that had like 6 hit points.
It had 2 hit points left.
Oh, okay.
Guys, you're supposed to represent us well. Which you
I
did, so I'm so proud
well.
of you. But anyhow, between the spiritual weapon on one tree, Lilith taking turns helping with the other, eventually you have 2 sizable trees that then, utilizing the axe and the tools, you're able to split in half to attempt to make a very temporary bridge. You're pretty sure that it won't hold for very long once you have crossed. I do need an explanation of how you want to try and get these laid across the river. Are you going to just trust the old tilt method? Or get someone across to try and guide the other side?
So you're asking how we're laying the logs to get across?
Yeah, so first off, let me get rid of the no, let me get rid of DS. And apparently yeah. So you got the river. Toodaloop. Toodaloop. Jared, can you see that?
Yes.
Okay.
How wide is the river?
40 feet.
Okay.
Depth unknown, but you're aware that the ice layer at the top can range anywhere between 1.5 inch to 3 inches, and it is very brittle. Much like most vampires' ego. I want to point out I said most vampires, and he immediately felt insulted. I'm just gonna point that out. Didn't say Abarish, didn't even hint that I was talking about him.
When you're the only vampire in the party.
Not the only vampire in the world.
Maybe you're not the only one in the party.
Yeah, you ever think about that?
Maybe one of us is actually better at concealing it.
It's like,
Well,
man,
no.
who really wanted that cow?
For the milk. Tastes pretty good. I definitely drank it. So thoughts are we could potentially, since we don't want to just like drop it on the lake, like try and stand it up or something, because then it's gonna crack that top layer. We could lay it along the shore and then go across and pull it with 1 or 2 people on the other side to then pull the other end of the log across, make it straight.
Yeah.
Secure it on the other end. That's what comes to mind for me.
Possibly.
Right. Then who's going across?
I can. I'm light.
Arash, would you like to cross?
Not particularly.
Arash looking at the running water.
Yeah.
I'll
no.
cross. I will also cross.
Okay. Just give me an acrobatics check to balance your way across.
I will pray for guidance.
Yeah, just focus for a little bit ahead of time.
Oh, thank God, above a 10.
All right, both of you make it across, and it is in short order that the log is dragged into place, making use of the extensive amounts of rope that everyone has available to them. It's like the most common item available. I don't know who in like what general crafter like that's his whole shtick. It's just making rope. Because good lord, is there just a lot of rope available to adventurers specifically? It's a lot of rope. Has so many uses. But you are all soon across, and no sooner that you are, that gut check gets quite intense.
Which way?
Westward. There you see frozen pines, dark clouds, and the approach of a snowstorm.
Yeah, wonderful.
What? Maybe get to the forest?
We're gonna need to hunker down pretty quick.
Yeah,
I'm trying
that's
to
why.
judge how quickly the storm is coming in to make sure that we can get a camp set up. You said we're able to get everybody across
Yes.
the gear and the animals. Okay. Yeah, then I just recollect rope. I don't know if the logs will be here when we come back, but we could divert to the road hopefully. But yeah, try to make sure that we can find some sort of shelter and start to get tents set up. I guess what time of day is it? Is it still early?
This would be not quite noon yet by the time you got here.
Okay. So we might not need tents, but the storm could last long enough that we might. But having some sort of shelter is probably good for a snowstorm of unknown strength. So we're being pulled north.
You're now being pulled west.
Okay.
Towards those woods.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say I'd get in there then. That'll give us cover.
Yes, onward.
Okay.
Glad at least it waited till after the fork. I have to try and do that twice.
I mean, how evil do you think I am? Don't answer that.
Nope.
All right. So, by the early afternoon, you arrive into the reach of young growth there within the winter forest. And it is almost immediately apparent as Mr. Ari that you've entered into someone's domain.
Do you know whose or what type of creature the domain?
You don't know whose, but there is a the key for the clue in for you is a songbird pretty much immediately flits and begins to follow your motion as you're trying to find somewhere to make camp.
So the bird is singing while doing this. I assume since you say songbird.
Yes.
Okay. So in theory, I am perhaps feeling watched, or at least that they're alerted that we're here, but not necessarily hostile. Okay.
Yeah, they are definitely alerted.
Yeah, I mean, unless I know of any customs or anything. I don't know that I know specific.
Would you like to roll a history check?
Yeah.
Okay. First and foremost, what comes to mind is you may have stumbled upon the Queen of Winter's Fey domain.
Queen of Winter Phase domain. Good lord.
What? You
Oh, we're
you can
almost
fight
there.
her.
I'm sure we can. We can't win, but we can.
Abrash, you take lead. We'll be right behind you.
I do
Way
not believe
behind you.
Larry.
Yeah, we can fight her. We just can't win. For the most part, most of the stories and whatnot that you receive regarding her, she is not exactly a welcoming host, but she's not one who outright intends or typically aggresses anyone who enters her domain. So long as you don't disturb something you're not supposed to. That's the catch, is knowing what you're not supposed to fuck with.
Yeah.
That changes with her mood.
I mean, the tree was definitely outside. Definitely. Just going with that assumption.
Well, it was on the
late.
other side of the river, so you're pretty confident you're right there.
Yeah, that's just water under the ice. Moving on. I will, though, as we're traveling through, just say, try not to disturb too much in the forest. There may be creatures that consider this their land. The less we mess with, the better.
Adam's over there, like, carving his initials in one of the trees.
Hey, look, a bird. Poof, feathers.
By the great unholy night, we are all going to die.
Oh, that's great. You're all going to die? Are you sure everyone's going to die? I think one person gets out alive.
One of us is already dead. I'll call dibs on getting out alive.
Not sure that's something you get to pick.
Too late, I called dibs.
Ah, Pete. Fairy Queen honors dibs.
Yeah, tread lightly. Yeah. But no, not mentioning that I think it's a fae, but something.
Yeah, you only mentioned that it's something thinks it's in charge here. Closer to the full fall of evening, you are greeted with, if I'm not mistaken, we did make a point, Ari, you got a full suit of cold weather clothing before y'all left? Or were you only able to get the half suit? I personally can't recall.
I don't know that I did because I didn't have. I couldn't afford it. I can only afford half, basically. That's as much money as I had, and we didn't stay to
Do any
do
work,
any odd
yeah.
jobs. Yep.
Okay. So, for the most part, only you are really experiencing any hang-ups. Thanks to the delightful shift in weather. You begin to see the frost on your breath. There is a heavy, constant flow of snow flurries. It's cold. I mean, this is the easy way to say it. It is cold. About probably the 7th evening hour, Sarah begins to chime up talking about how she herself feels like there's others with you all.
What do you mean, others?
Would I know any common ways of announcing our presence, or like requesting passage, showing non-hostility?
Verbally speaking it for one, just like outright, like, "Hey, this
Yeah.
this is what we're doing here," or expressly seeking an audience. I am trying to double check here. Where it's in my library. Oh, it's in the other library. One day I'll get all my files in one place. I won't. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I won't.
If Sarah's noticing things, or at least able to detect them, I would definitely be looking around. Not sure if I can pick them out or not, but yeah, I would announce that we are travelers looking to pass through the lands. We need a small fire to not freeze to death, but we'll hopefully be out of your area. I do not think we need to directly commune. We're not entirely sure what we seek, merely that it is this direction. But again, just look to passively pass.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a persuasion.
Can I guidance my persuasion?
Would you like to be seen casting a spell?
Are they anti-magic? Because they tend to use magic. Or against outsiders? Do I know?
It's a matter of whether or not this particular group will find it hostile or not. It's whether or not you want to take that risk. So I'm just going to throw that out there.
Let's make sure I don't have any other Fey knowledge. Just to check something.
I'm currently sending you Finish Whisper, Ari.
Oh, I guess I do have. Well, I think I was fine on the history check, so I do have advantage on intelligence checks for information and to track Fey and other creatures, specific types of creatures. I was forgetting it. I will try to be safe then, since they might not like it.
Okay.
Rules are holding that.
So you've only asked for passage, right?
Yes, saying like we don't know exactly what we seek, merely that it is in this direction, so it could change.
Okay.
We never know what exactly we're after.
So Ari, who's I think just Aldrix, who just went BRB, Avarice, Advin, you watch as Ari kind of stops and calls out at Sara's mentioning that there seems to be someone else around you, the perceptive little bugger that she is.
Oh, I just realized as well, I have Sylvan as a language, so we'd probably say it in that, because I think that is closer to their... Oh, I got Elven as well.
Okay, you want to say it in Sylvan?
Yes, because that should be the closest thing I've got to showing that I know and understand their language, hopefully gets the message across more clearly and gets me brownie points.
Okay.
Yeah.
cold blue the fingers that reach about one of the tree boughs as a flitted creature, appearing elven at first until its more fawn-like lower half is revealed, more prances into view. Left hand wielding what appears to be a sharpened blade of ice, watching you.
We'll show my open hands. I think they mean no harm.
She didn't rush you, so there's that.
Yeah.
And In Sylvan responds, "You openly step within our wood with no proper purpose. Why should we not end you here?"
We are travelers pulled by fate to unknown destinations. And not knowing these lands, do not seek to cause any ill will or harm. Merely to complete tasks that we feel unnaturally driven to complete so that we can seek solace in the end.
You come on task for some great being. Does Cinder King send you?
Cinder.
What I know who Cinder King is that
You're
another
confident that
thing.
you've not been sent by no Cinder King, for one.
Fucking Dark Souls boss.
Meanwhile, Alvarosh, you're being whispered to by Adaman, who oddly seems to be doing just fine in his clothes every now and then. Just has a little bit of warmth pervading from him.
Bit of steam coming off of him.
Yeah, like, it's kind of weird. The Cinder King looks at Adaman, who is on effectively, smoldering. But you're fairly sure that that is either, if you want to roll a history to know for sure, something to do with anti-winter for one. Best you gather is a fire giant or a dragon. It could be any number of like grand creatures. And at the smoldering, the icy fawn does trot forward. The blade raised at the ready.
Do we all easily notice that Adaman is like smoking?
Thanks to her attention on the steam, yes.
Okay. I become like mid sentence, like glance over at Adaman, but like, no, I've not ever held any court with the Cinder King. Adaman, what are you doing?
Edmund, now is probably not the best time.
No, we are not sent by any Cinder King. We are merely pulled by fate.
Adam, do you care to explain yourself?
I mean,
I think he takes
I don't
offense
know how
to
to
your.
explain it. I mean, it's natural for me.
Well, yes, I can understand the urge to do what is natural to oneself, but it is not always appropriate in all circumstances.
I'm gonna tear up. He's
For
learning so much.
cold area, I'm trying to stay warm.
Okay. Do you not see our guest? Or we are the guest. It is rude to do that. It is rude to smoke in someone's home without asking.
It's not smoke. It's
Yeah, what is
it's
it?
more. It's just slightly evaporating the moisture around me to increase my body heat. It's very cold here. It was something that my invisible friend told me was a good idea. It is quite nice. I was very cold, but now I'm not. It's a neat trick.
Bless you.
Thank you.
He's kind of talking out of the side of his mouth, trying to like watch the person in front of them. But like, I agree, it sounds very nice and cozy, but maybe now's not the best time.
We just want to be respectful of our hosts.
How is this disrespectful?
Madman, please.
I mean, you're wearing warm clothes. I'm not. Well, I am now, but
Alright, please tell him. Please tell them we mean no disrespect.
That's great.
My companion's a little bit addled in the head. It can be hard to get him to understand. He
but
is.
nobody has told me why I can't do this.
I think that doesn't say, so you don't understand.
Usha, no. He is looking to keep warm while avoiding the need for fire. Is that okay as we pass through?
There will be no passing through. You will come speak.
Okay. We can do that. We're gonna take a field trip, everybody. In common. I don't know if everybody speaks another language.
We are going with.
Yes, they would like us to. We get an audience. I don't know if we're actually going to their court or
Audience
who we
with
get to meet.
who?
I kind of look to him, like trying to determine if he is understanding common. Pause for a bit if he's going to answer that.
The fawn, they appear to be made of elemental, so they respond to they. But they do not seem to be responding in kind, one way or the other.
If my previous study is correct, we are meeting. Pause for a second to see if the creature will answer. Giving nothing. Her crystalline majesty, Morin of Grockenheim, cold-hearted Snow Queen, daughter of.
I appreciate you left the cold-hearted in there.
Oh, yes. I mean, I guess I don't know if it's taken as a title or.
Well, it's not capitalized.
And earned, something that they are proud of, or that they don't like. I mean, it could be a title of endearment or pride. I don't know. Hopefully, I'm not wrong. At least they know.
So, the fawn, presuming that you're ready to follow, turns and begins to lead you through an off what vague path you've been following so far. And at which point you see other icy creatures, some bipedal, some not. Sort of flanking within the trees.
So we're sort of being shadowed by.
And potentially had been for quite some time.
Okay.
Sir, stop the dying.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
Like, permission to die not granted. Okay, so you were led for some time, much to the disappointment of Sarah, who eventually does begin to complain that my feet hurt. How long is it going to take? Are we there yet? The usual kid stuff.
Yep, hopefully they're soon. Having really no idea how far we're going to travel.
Just lie to the child?
I said hopefully they're soon. That is completely not a lie. I agree. I want to be there too.
Do we really want to be there?
I'm going to be done walking. Well, I mean, the thing is, you either go there or we fight our escort. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they send more after us, and yeah.
What?
Yeah, so I would.
The Fae would never.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so the leader of this is a Fae, not elemental.
She appears to be made a Fae spirit manifested in a ice elemental fawn.
Okay. I'm saying, like, I'm gonna try and give some people the heads up as to like what we're walking into, as best as I know it, and like distinctions between like Fae versus elemental. If I know that there is a distinction, if we're blending them together, then like, I'm not sure. I mean, like, I guess Aldrich as well is kind of a little bit.
You're definitely more partial and more aware that it is likely a Fae situation you're going into.
Okay.
And sure enough, as you breach into one of the clearings, you are indeed greeted with what at a glance you would describe as the opening foyer of a palace. Not quite Elsa's crystal ice shenanigans. Here you see other statuesque figures. Some, again, humanoid, others reflecting creatures of the wood and beyond. And as you walk by them, they shift and crack and creak much like the ice over the river had before. You work through and away from full and proper trees, soon replaced by similar statuesque representations of nature. and work your way into a building proper as the last remnants of the day's light glimmer through and caress the floor with hues of rainbow. You are greeted far on the distant side of the room by the individual that I already had referred to as Morin, the Crystalline Majesty. She sits upon her throne with an unimpressed look upon her face.
Where are we being pulled towards?
The direction's off, but not here.
Okay.
Like, it definitely got stronger coming here, so it's potentially somewhere within these woods. But she sits in a flowing blue dress. I know, really on point, with what appears to be white furs draped from her shoulder, connected to a snowflake pattern necklace of sorts that then connects to this almost halo that wraps behind her head. And as she watches, calm, cool, and collected, she awaits your opening words.
Kind of look to the creature. Let us hear. Look to her. Like, look to the group. Realizing I'm going to have to be talking.
Yep.
Great. Set up for this. I'm sure nothing's bad's going to happen. I will call out in Sylvan. Greetings, Her Crystalline Majesty. We are pleased to grace your abode and presence. We were merely looking to pass through, driven to purpose by fate to wander west, and merely looking to pass through your lands without disturbing them, being as quickly out as we can.
Driven by fate, you say? Or by the fates? Noted.
I don't have much experience with the thing. I guess maybe either? Both?
I sense among you not all are of the living. Am I incorrect in my assessment?
Is she speaking in common or is it still?
She's speaking in Elven.
Okay. Like Elvish.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Alright. Upon hearing that, Abrash would take a step forward and do his sort of grandest, most courtly, aristocratic bow. Just answer with, "This is a, sorry. You are correct, noble queen. I am not, as you say, of the living."
She's watching the lot of you, waiting to see if anyone else intends to volunteer conversation or cause. As Adam's like, technically.
I'm just trying to not be offensive in any way, and I do that by not saying anything dumb.
Well, for the most part,
I didn't take that as, step forward and
Yes.
introduce yourself. So it
Yeah, exactly.
seemed more like a statement as opposed to
Avarice singles
Like-
himself out as the target.
which one of you is undead? I smell something that seems a bit off. Yeah.
Wow. With that in mind, why should I let you pass, if not but for the fickle fates that have sent you my way?
And it takes more effort to fight rather than just let us go on our way. We can spread the word as you choose it, either of a wondrous winterland to behold or fear, so you don't get more travelers this way. Because some of us have affinity towards your kind and like to see your kind prosper, and not existing anymore makes that task a bit more difficult.
You would see us prosper.
Do you not wish to?
You're answering a question with a question.
And that is a statement. I thought we were just calling out grammatical information. Maybe
Yes,
not.
taunt the fake one.
Yeah.
So this always ends up well, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, like we said, we can fight her. We just won't win.
yeah. We were just, brought in to meet with royalty. It's usually customary to offer a gift
She does perk up a
for an
little.
audience. And I know I don't want to say you people, but
What do you
I
mean?
know the Fae do like their gifts. Maybe there is something that we can offer.
There is something within your possession that I do not have.
And what would that be?
Her-
Your Grace?
Her attention goes to the very quiet siblings.
Here, that.
Or I can't help but start to shift posture at that point.
I mean, we brought this up before.
Adamant?
What?
Yeah, when the
Where you
Cthulhu monster was
proposing?
asking for him.
I think we do still need them for.
think we still need them for.
For whatever the fates are leading us to.
They are not to be traded. Speaking to the group.
You're right. It's not a trade. He said a gift.
We will not be gifting them to you either.
Then you'll have something of equal value. Yes.
Is there something else you would require or request or like? Something more perhaps in our power to grant?
One does not ask for a gift. You provide.
Yes.
Gift. What can you provide me? Undead.
Cow.
A cow.
The cow.
I like how quiet he got when he said that. A cow. I just saw and there's Helmet too. Cows make great gifts in all caps. Oh, good lord. Are you offering her the cow?
It was just a suggestion. I'm open to other options. I did spend a lot of money on the cow.
So that's a no?
I think the cow might be our best bet. I apologize, Abrash.
Abrash gives a sort of appeasing smile and bow to the Fey Queen, and just turns to Aldrich like, "Do you?" And just sort of whispers like the mom like kids acting up in church whisper like, "Do you understand where we are? You want to offer a cow?"
You offered first.
I did not. I offered nothing. I just simply raised this as an option, but not a serious one.
I don't have a cow.
Of course, she doesn't have a cow.
Exactly.
I also don't have children, but I see one of you is attached, and that really does sway me to prefer one over the other.
He does really love that cow.
Arish just sort of reaches up and rubs his forehead. And it turns back to the queen. It would be an honor, the greatest honor of my life, if your majesty would humbly accept the offering of my dairy cow.
Roll persuasion.
Have you named it yet?
I don't. I mean, the girls might have. I don't think Ambrash has.
Okay. See, that was.
Yeah.
Hey!
Sarah named it Petunia.
Petunia.
So she rises as you hem and haw over how great an honor it would be to present her with the gift of a cow. And with graceful steps, sort of glides across the room towards you all, where the cow stands, and briefly stops right beside you, Ari, as you sort of take up that posture between her and the children, and looking clearly at Lilith and Sarah with clear desire. Before her hand raises palm upward, and snow flurries issue forth and wrap about poor Petunia, freezing her over in front of you all. to be added to her collection, her menagerie. Petunia looks at you, Avarish, with a look of cow betrayal.
Elvis, now it's the cow.
Petunia. Her name's Petunia. And so, for the record, the children are watching this like, here's more trauma for later in life.
No, it could have been them.
We won't let them know it could have been them later.
Why would we let them know that?
Petunia gave her life for us.
They have ears.
They don't speak Elvish.
Maybe I was gonna say maybe
Yeah.
they don't speak Elvish, but I mean,
They're like rural peasants. I bet they're not bilingual.
Which weirdly every peasant in PC somehow ends up bilingual.
At least.
Oh, good lords. But yeah, Petunia is frozen over, becoming this translucent crystalline ice sculpture of her former self. But for what looks to be almost a blossom of fracture where the heart would be, begins to beat and pulse, and she takes step, letting out a cold moo before trotting off to join her fellows. Now, in regards to your plight, she turns on a heel, looking down at the lot of you. As it dawns on me that you're now like 2 for 2 with really tall women. Just what is it that you are driven towards, I wonder?
Unfortunately, we do not know precisely.
But you know that it is within my domain.
We
seems
know
so.
it is at least west of here.
You're not sure if it's northwest, south, east, because you don't know what your direction is facing, and I know you don't have that feat, so don't try.
Aw.
We are inside, right?
You are indoors, yes.
Okay. But at least from where we were before, it was west. And it's in theory the same day.
Correct. But
So,
you were led in a clearly obfuscating path.
yeah,
To get
our best
here.
guess. It was west of where we met.
Where you
That was the
trespassed.
Yes. Accidentally, unpurposefully so.
I didn't see signs.
Glances over towards Adam and... Then you didn't look. My children will escort you to ensure that you do not molest any of my belongings.
Escort us to...
Wherever it is you're after.
Is that where they will leave us? Or are we to be escorted until we are out of... have reached your realm's borders?
That would be what would follow, yes.
Okay.
And it will be up to them to assess whether or not you were attempting to take something of mine. Which I'm sure goes without saying will not be allowed.
Okay.
Seems
Unless they have another option.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, nope. We take this, we take the L, we move on.
For now, and she gestures a stairwell illuminating to your left. Rest yourselves. After all, you have come with proper homage. She looks at Avrosh, still watching the cow trot away.
Just a big sigh.
I would head up. Hopefully the rooms aren't ice cold. I would trust her enough that we do get rest here. Be a bit on guard, but
You are able to get a short rest. But this is also where we'll be fading to black.
oh, okay. I would definitely have a bit of a talk with Adamant to never offer up the girls again. They are not to be offered up for any means. We don't offer children.
So you can offer them once they're adults.
It's only a couple years for the older one.
You'd be much just be rid of Lilith, wouldn't you, Abrash?
I am not the one always threatening her with an axe, so take that as you
I want to make it clear. She has not once threatened you with an axe.
Oh, she's menaced me plenty with an axe hoisted by it.
You're saying you feel threatened by her.
I feel menaced.
God damn it, Adamant!
Did you send him the same thing you sent me, Advin?
Pretty much.